95% of the people that we know, they will never own their home or get out of debt. All the time, your mind is moving. What can you do? It has to be a better way.
I would just lie there. Eric didn't know it, but I literally would just kind of cry to myself because I'm like, what are we gonna do? Something has to change.
I prayed to my dad to be safe on his work.
November of 2014, between her and our checks, we had $13.06 to our name. That's for the degree.
People automatically assume because you have an undergraduate or because you have a bachelor, you must know how to manage your finances.
The government and in education, they're teaching you from this broken down system. And so people are telling you, you know, you're gonna always have debt. You can go to school and get an education. And when you get a degree, you come out, you got a lot of debt. You know, you're behind the 8 ball before anything starts. Some of my students now who, you know, they come back from college and they're like, man, Mr. Parker, man, I got $40,000 in student loan debt. I can't find a job in my major. You know, we told them that they can go out into the world and be successful. And then they come back and they're like kind of hurt because they don't know what to do. $13, I was so embarrassed. A week or two later, this guy says, why don't you come down and listen to this guy? You really need to hear him. So he puts the information in and he turns the thing and said, what do you think about that?
7.6 years is the amount of time it would take for us to pay our 30-year mortgage off.
Student loan, her student loan, and all of the bills. I still, nah, because it don't make sense. How can you get out of debt by getting in debt? That doesn't make any sense. I hear some banging over here. What you working on now?
His tail? We're gonna get a different brush for his tail. You wanna see?
You know, we don't teach these things to the children anymore. We need to get a good grade on the ACT to go to college, and the economics is probably more what students need in today's time. We went and talked with him, and he said it was 7 years and 6 months to pay everything, the mortgage, student loans, everything.
Really? I mean, it's very interesting to me because I would love that. I'd love the fact that we could actually get out of debt early.
Your default system is saying, man, that's a scam. It's not that easy. We thought it was a scam too, but.
You were skeptical.
What do you mean?
I knew the Lord was leading and guiding it. You know how I knew? We had our little spreadsheet, and I had the bills on one side, and across the top, we had each month. And so I was having to manually go in, put in this amount, take out that amount.
That snowball, we did that. It just didn't really put things together like the pill method, you know.
It did not work in tithing, but when we sat down to put the information in for the pill method, one of the counselors said, okay, where's your tithe? Who does that? But with this program, when we put our information in, it gave me feedback, immediate feedback. It gave me a vision, not for 1 year, not for 2 years. It gave me a vision for 3 years. You do not walk away with this cold feeling that I've just entered into something and now I've got to filter through it and figure out how does it actually work. When we started working with the pill method, the counseling was, if you're stressed, call me. You're not supposed to be stressed. That's what I'm here for.
Let me tell you a story about that. When we moved down here, my husband said, I gotta have a truck.
No air conditioning, And you know, I got used to it. It was humble. It was humility.
A guy down the street had a truck. So he talked to the guy, and the guy gave him the truck, I think for like $1,300.
This one here, I used to have to break my arm to change it, you know.
We've had that truck at least 10 years.
You know, everybody asks me, they say, do you still have it? I say, yeah.
You all are doing so well. You're following the principles. You're paying off this debt. People are going to wonder how you are homeschooling, how you are able to get a new vehicle, get a new truck. We're like, what are you talking about? Our truck is running fine. A week later, the truck broke down, and we were devastated.
We didn't have a clue what was going on, how we were going to make it, and we still were saying, you know, she's going to be homeschooling in August. I said, well, I'm going to find something cheap, look for another old truck, and I couldn't find anything. Everything had high mileage.
We visited several dealerships, and finally the Lord led us to one. We prayed that no more than $275 for a payment. When the guy came back, he said, well, I can do you about $273.
And we didn't have to pay anything down on it. And I was like, my goodness. And the money that we had saved for the down payment on the truck, we actually took that and put it down on another bill. The phone calls were always there and very encouraging. That's what separates other stewardship seminars or programs, having somebody there to walk us through. Over half our income for the year was right here. So the moment she stopped working, it went up to 15 years, 8 months.
Within the program, we were still functioning as though we had two incomes. So once we decided that we were going to be working off of one income, that meant now I no longer had to drive 30 minutes to get to work. So the gas money that I was spending to go to work, I didn't have to use that money. That's good. One more time and then that's good. Okay. And as we started operating within the guidelines and parameters that we believe that the Lord was setting up for us, then he started working to bring in other funds, miracles. Because that's what we called our power bill. We had a church member to say, okay, I want to encourage you in homeschooling. I'm going to pay your power bill for a whole year. And so immediately another burden was lifted.
She was telling me the other day that we've gotten it down to 8 years, 8 months.
8 months.
And
one income.
One income. How that happened?
One of my questions was, okay, do I need to defer my loan because I'm not working? So if I'm not working, I can defer it. And my coach said, no, don't defer it, we'll pay it. You must know something we don't know, but that's what the PIL method does. We don't need to refinance. I'll keep the high interest rate, and now I'll just, maneuver through the amortization schedule a little quicker. There's a little song we teach our children. The song says, count your blessings and name them one by one. 3,800, 600, 400, 3,500, 3,000, 7,000. 300. From January 2015 to November, it was $24,000. Where'd that happen? Where'd that come from? When we were starting out with $13. In November of last year, we had $13.06. And that's the thing, we live better now with one income than we did with two incomes. Not just heap up funds for ourselves, but to share those funds with others. Because since the Lord has blessed us, it allows us to bless others. And it's a statement in the book of education, and it was saying that we aren't to be slaves to any circumstance. We do not have to accept what our bank tells us when we need to pay our bill, how much we need to pay on that bill. We have gained so much understanding that now we have choices. We didn't have choices before. We were forced to accept whatever they said. $24,000. Now people saying, how did you do that?
Listen, it's a life changer. That's all I can say. It's a life changer.